Hey everyone. So I wanted to briefly touch on the APRE method, which I assumed would cause some confusion. I've already seen some questions in the Facebook group about it. So I'm going to cover that a little bit, and it is a little confusing at first, but hopefully, it'll make sense after this video. And if not, definitely ask questions or post up, numbers or examples of what you're planning to do, and we can give you feedback on it. But probably the easiest way, if you guys can open up your PDF, the training manual, to, I believe it's page 63, where we talk about the APRE method, auto-regulated progressive resistance exercise. And this is basically just a way to teach you to, it's called auto-regulation, but basically adjust your numbers for how you're feeling for that day. Because, some days you go in and you're planning to hit a certain number and you just don't have it. It just doesn't, it feels heavy and it just doesn't feel right. And on other days you go in and you're planning to hit, say 10 reps with 100 pounds and it feels super easy and you're like, I could definitely go up. So the way this method works is it allows you to adjust your numbers based on your performance for that day. So if you have the PDF open, if you also have your program open, we use this method on day one for squats, bench, and deadlift. So I'll kind of look at day one and we'll kind of go through each of those. So if you look at squat, for week one, it says 4 sets of 10 reps using the APRE method. So if we look at the PDF, the way you'll do this is looking under the column for the 10 rep max routine. There's basically 4 sets, right? There's set 1, you do 12 reps at 50% of your 10 rep max. So, if you don't know what your 10 rep max is, pick a rough estimate. Week 1, we don't expect you to have your numbers perfect. So just pick a number you think would be pretty tough for 10 reps. You feel confident you can get it, but you think it'd be challenging, and use that for week 1. In week 2, you'll know what it is, based on this first week. So week 1, if you don't know, that's okay. The same for any of the other rep maxes. That's okay, just to give an approximation. So set 1, 12 reps at 50%, 10 rep max. So let's assume your rep max is 100 pounds. 10 rep max is 100 pounds. You do 50 pounds for 12 reps. Set 2, 10 reps at 75% of 10 rep max. So you do 10 reps at 75 pounds. Set 3, you're going to go to failure at your 10 rep max. So if you think it's 100 pounds, you'll do as many reps as you can there. Let's say you got, 11 pounds. You got 11 reps. So the 4th set is where you adjust your the weight you use based on how many reps you got. So this is where we go to the chart on page 64, which tells you how to adjust the weight. So as this chart shows, if you got 9 to 11 reps, you keep the weight the same. So in this example, you got 11 reps, so you would keep the weight at 100 pounds for your 4th set. But let's assume you got 13 reps. Well, so looking at the chart, that would fall in the 12 to 16 rep range. So you'd increase the weight by 5 to 10 pounds. So you would put on there 105 to 110 pounds, and that's what you would use for the 4th set, and you would again do as many as you can. So then in week 2, I would use whatever weight you use in set 4 as your new 10 rep max. Okay. So that's how you'll know in week 2 roughly what your 10 rep max is. And, it may be an estimate. Let's say you put on 105 to 110 for the 4th set and you still get 14 or 15 reps. Well, make an educated guess in week 2 then. Okay. Now I will say, if you look on your training sheet, in weeks 4, 5, and 6, we actually use, for squat and bench, we use 8 reps instead of 10 reps. And if you look at the PDF the normal APRE routines, there's no technical 8RM routine. But basically, I want you to follow the same method as the 10 rep max routine, except you'll now be using your estimated 8 rep max. So for example, in set 1, you do 12 reps at 50% of your 8 rep max. Set 2, you would do 10 reps at 75% of your 8 rep max. And then third set, you go reps to failure, and you would see how many you get. And for set 4, the second chart is going to be a little off again, but basically use the same idea, right? So for the 10 rep max routine, if you got plus or minus 1 rep of 10 reps, you kept the weight the same. So for the 8 rep max, for the 8 week 4, 5, and 6, if you get 7 or 9 reps, 7, 8, or 9 reps, keep the weight the same. If you get 2 or more reps, like if you get 10 reps or more, then add, 5 to 10 pounds. Okay, but if you get less, let's say you got, 6 reps, 2 less, then adjust the weight down. Okay, so I don't want you to make it too complicated. Again, we get hung up on numbers being perfect, but basically if you're 2 reps under what you are shooting for, decrease the weight. If you're 2 reps over what you're shooting for, then bump the weight up. Okay, and the same goes for the deadlift. Like in week 1 of the deadlift, you're doing a 5 rep max protocol. Okay, and again, if you look at the chart, there's not a 5 rep max protocol. So, but I want you to go to the closest thing. Use the 6 RM protocol. So you do 10 reps at 50% of your 5 rep max, 6 reps at 75% of your 5 rep max, and then reps to failure at your 5 rep max. Okay. And again, if you get, so using the deadlift, if you only get 3 reps, then I want you to bump the weight down for your second set or for your 4th set. If you get, let's say 7 reps, then bump the weight up. Okay. So again, not all of the numbers on the training sheet are going to match up with the chart in table 1. Okay. But that's okay. Just like I said, use common sense. It doesn't have to be perfect. But again, the idea is to adjust that 4th set based on how you're feeling for that day, and also to use that number to progress the following week. Okay. So again, let's use the deadlift. If you had planned to hit 200 pounds for 5 reps and you got it for 7, bump the weight up to say 210. So in week 2, your estimated 5 rep max in week 2 is going to be 210. Okay. And that's how you're going to keep progressing over time. Okay. So I think that explains everything. I do know there is a bit of an error on the spreadsheet. And Lewis may correct that by the time I send out this video, but the deadlift should say 4 sets. Anything with APRE should say 4 sets. Okay. Just based on table 1, okay, how you do the sets. The first 2 are technically warm-up sets, and the last 2 are all out. But anyways, I hope this is helpful, guys. I plan to film more videos on just any question you guys have about exercise performance, technique, but definitely ask as many questions as you have, and we're happy to help. So again, I know it's a little confusing, but you'll get it. Don't overthink too much. As long as you're pushing yourself, you're going to do awesome. Have some fun.